Hey, welcome to another episode of the Quarter Variant at a Time comic podcast. I'm here after an awesome, fun week in comics, and as always, my co-host, Mr. Roy, Imperious Rex.
Imperious Mix. Nothing much, man. Just enjoying life. Still riding my buzz off yesterday, but we'll talk more about that in a little bit. Other than that, just staying afloat like always, man.
That's awesome, dude. Like, I feel like it was well, you got to get finally back in the groove of it this week too. You got to be a
Yes.
Wednesday warrior with the
Yes.
crew out there. I'm sure y'all taking up two booths.
We were not two booths deep, but it was like the booth and then the whole table next to that. It was like an archipelago of people drifting out after that. So they were, of course, Jerry and 50, and they were all in their booth where they belong. And I was like Candace like straight up like hollered, like she like cut through the conversation, like I don't mean we're gonna talk about it anyways. But so I came in there and I got my books and like spent time talking to Dave and Candace and everybody, and it was great. And then Dave's like, well, what are you gonna do about your comic books? Because I told him I don't want a bag because like I'm like a business guy and I understand you never make money back on your paper cost ever. And so the first thing I'll tell anybody is keep your bags, keep your receipts. I don't need any of that garbage. Like it's only a drop in the bucket, but you know what I mean? At least someone's out there looking out for your bottom line,
Yeah.
Paper cost is a nightmare. So but anyways, so he's like, well, how are you gonna walk out with your books? And I was like, I got a tote bag. And he's like, but and I was like, oh. I was like, no, dog, I got my bags and boards. I'm gonna sit down and have some coffee. And he's like, oh. And so I went and like I walked past the booth and like, everyone said what's up to me and stuff. But I didn't want to be intrusive. And like the instant that I laid my books down on another table, Candace like called the whole thing to a halt and demanded that I be introduced to everybody. And so that was like super, super cool. And so yeah, I just sat down and me, like I know that a little of me goes a long way. So I tend to break folks in nice and slow. And so I kind of sat on the edges, but I was involved in everyone's conversation and it was exactly what I'm looking for. And so I was really, really thrilled. And then yesterday just cemented that. But we do have a segment for that.
Yes, yesterday. Well, there's going to be tons of talking about yesterday because yesterday was the Blackbird 5-year anniversary party. It's been
Yeah,
5 years since they've built that little slice of paradise out there, and it was like I've been there for like 2 weeks, but anyways, we'll get there. It was a wake up call. It was awesome. And again, guys, thank you for joining us on the Quarter Variant at a Time. Different time. We didn't go at noon today. We went at 5 p.m. We are going to upload it on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, leave a like, subscribe. If you're on Facebook, like as well. But yeah, man, this week was a little weird. I missed a new comic book day because I wasn't feeling well. But thankfully, I made it. I got on the mend quick enough to be back out there for the anniversary party. So it was awesome. But before anniversary party, there would have been new comic book day.
right.
I was able to pick up my new comic book day goodies yesterday. Really,
I'd have gone to the shop for you. I asked you if you needed anything.
I know I got everything. Night Terrace is almost done. I'm excited. Dead Man story. Damian Wayne recently showed up, which is cool. I've been digging that. The Detective Comics one by Dan Waters. Shout out to the homie Dan Waters, picking up from Ram V there. The Titans one is really cool. That's Andrew Constant. He's been really good on Titans. He's done some Titan stuff in the past.
Nice.
I did pick up. This was last week. We talked about Rare Flavors being on FOC, and I picked up they called it the tasting menu. Dude, this book, I think this is going to be a sleeper book. This tasting menu, it's essentially an ash can, so the artwork is not finished. It's black and white, a little rough, but the story is awesome. It's this chef who's very mysterious, and he wants to essentially be the next Anthony Bourdain. So he kind of does. He hires a film crew to follow him around and do that. And obviously, this is only like the first couple pages, but he definitely ends up telling the film guy, he's like, I have a taste. I have a really acquired palate for people and food. And it's like, all right, what's what's that mean? You know, is he cannibal? Is it
I
dark
told you
magic?
it was giving cannibal.
Yep. So it's cool. It's really cool book, Ram V. So I'm excited to see what that comes out in a couple weeks. Me and Lauren have been doing Doom Patrol. I love
Nice. That
robot
cover
games.
rules.
Lauren has been doing Creed. She's actually really liked it. Creed Next Round, the one following Adonis Creed's daughter.
Is the interior anything like the covers? Because those covers hit, man.
It's good. It's not like the cover. This is what's his name? Mahani Matan.
Oh, Manhanini.
Yep. So it's not as clean, but it's clean. It's clean. And then the last two Night Terrors, I picked up Angel Breaker 2. Angel Breaker was interesting, caught me by surprise. And then Batman Beyond Neo Year 2. You know, I had to get that.
You know, I picked that up as well.
And then this was a reorder. Aaron was phenomenal on top of reordering this for me. So I picked up
I saw that.
the Batman Wayne Family Adventures. And we were playing board games last night, and I kind of flipped through the first couple pages reading it. And I have to say, this is young, all ages. Let's call it all ages. This is all ages media done right. It's
cool.
It's definitely graspable for like a 10 to 12-year-old, you know, but like as an adult, I enjoyed it as well. I feel bad because this does not get a lot of love. Simply, it is published by DC, you know, but
Right.
it doesn't get all the love it gets because it was a webtoons, and I understand the stigma there, especially for retailers. Webtoons are digital comics. You don't get, you know, it's potentially what could drive you out of business.
Sure.
But I have to give hats off to DC for printing this, for going ahead and going to the creators and saying, we will pay you money. Allow us to print this under our banner in physical paper form, even though you already have millions of readers, you know? So this seems really awesome. It's the first episode, or first 25 episodes, because that's how
let's say it's chunky for an episode.
And I mean, it was only $14.99, so like not
That's
bad.
reasonable.
It's definitely almost 200 pages.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
But it's definitely, so the idea is that Bruce and Batman, they're the dad. And even though, and in the opening pages, it shows that Damian and Duke Thomas are the only ones that actually live in the mansion other than Alfred and Bruce. But he talks that the others come and go.
Right.
And at one point, he shows him the family tree, and he goes, "Oh, I've been telling Father he needs to update this because, you know, it only goes up to like Cassandra Cain and Stephanie Brown, and it needs to add even more, you know." So like,
yeah, plenty more
awesome. It's a beautiful the art slaps for being like kids stuff. Like
it's a tune, yeah.
Like, you know, like that's clean. It looks like an animated show. Looks like an animated show.
Super clean, yeah.
So if you've been wanting something simple, there's no canon to have to worry about other than the fact that Red Hood is already Red Hood. You know, you don't have to worry about how it happened. Lauren's been loving Creed. Lauren's in the comments. Thank you, Lauren. But yeah, if you get a chance, pick this up. The Wayne Family Adventures, and they're planning on continuing this. There's a couple other webtoon related things, but I really think this is a sleeper pick that some people might not know about.
Sure.
Your local comic store will be happy, even if they didn't order it the first time, to order one from you from Lunar Distribution. Shout out to Aaron, because he got this for me real quick, and I'm really excited about it. And Carly today just ordered me the Blue Beetle Graduation Day trade because I slept on that, and now I got to read that.
Wait, the one that they gave out with the drink?
No, that's Keith Giffen's Blue Beetle, right?
Yeah, that's Graduation Day is the most recent reintroduction.
Graduation Day is what came out like 6 months ago, but I wasn't like reading as much as I am right now, and so like
we've all done it, man.
I'm all about it now.
We've all done it. You see, I'm still trying to chase down that stupid static cover. Thanks to Lord Grantham.
Also, I don't have a copy of your book because I needed to get them to reorder it as well, Davey. But I saw Davey Lee is watching. He left a like. Davey Lee, congratulations. His first published comic came out through Scout Comics publications this past week. I'm gonna butcher it, but Bangego, I believe. It's all ages book through Scoot nonstop. And congratulations, Davey.
Very cool.
There he is, Davey. Davey, shout out the name of the book so I could put it up there. But Davey, if I planned on getting a copy, they have them on order, so I'm excited to support, man. We had Travis actually. I saw Travis yesterday, and I was telling him how happy I was for you. And yeah, man, it's always great to see you local guys get in there. So thank you, Davey. Shout out to you, man. And it was your birthday this past week, so you're celebrating your first published book. on your birthday, man. It's
That's
awesome.
amazing.
Congratulations
Happy
to
birthday,
Davey Lee,
indeed.
man. Congratulations, brother.
That's rad.
So, Roy, what'd you get this new comic book day?
Bunch of garbage, like always.
You had to have gotten at least one good book.
Sure.
It's
Nah, man, I got great books. Let's see. So I got some X stuff because it was that time.
always that time.
So I got Realm of X. This,
All right.
so this is done by Torin, and I think that guy is coming off a Thor run, I believe.
Yeah.
I've never read any of his stuff. I'm interested to see where they go with it because the characters and the idea is great, but it sure just kind of tastes like a lot of just more otherworld hijinks. So if you were doing Knights of X and stuff like that, and that was your flavor of the X books, which it was for a lot of people, and that's great, then Realm of X seems like it's going to be in a similar vein. I could go on about the characters, but the story, I don't know, it's just setting up, so you got to give it time. You know what I mean?
For sure. There it is. Davy's book is Ben Año.
Eno.
Ben Año. There we go. But yeah, man, congratulations to Davy. So happy for you, dude.
That's
I
amazing.
can imagine what it feels like to see your book on there.
Yeah, it's always so cool, and like that's what I love about supporting artists, local artists, and everything is that you get to watch their dream come true for them. You know what I mean? Like the ability to like bring something into being like that just came out of your creative side and your will, and that's really amazing. I love that stuff. That's one of the reasons that I love supporting local artists.
And it's fun, yeah, and it's fun to just play a small part in it, like whether as the
That part's cool too.
like
Yes.
as the store being like, oh, we're gonna carry it, or even just as you like. I know Roberto, our buddy Roberto Bonina, ordered it through his previews world when I gave Davey a shout out. So it's like it's cool to be a small part of. Hey, here's my $2.99. Here's my $3.99.
Yeah,
and congrats. You know, like
1,000%.
Kyle Willis, what's up, brother? I know you've been globetrotting doing them conventions.
They got way more than $2.50 out of me for that Poison Elves Kickstarter. I'll tell you that. They wanted $9,000 by the time they closed that Kickstarter in like 13 days. They'd made over $70,000.
Oh yeah.
But unfortunately, I learned this from watching Travis. Like the money's great, but what you really want to see is a wide number of backers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like as just an outside guy who like I never donated to Kickstarter until I donated to Travis actually, and all very fulfilling. Like the Cthulhu Invade series and stuff is all great, and that's where I jumped on board originally. And so I'd never even done that. And so I had to learn it all kind of from the side. And like I said, Travis taught me that one, you know, and it makes sense when you think about it. But so there wasn't as wide an array of backers as I would have liked to have seen. But they're going to do I think there's 5 volumes altogether. So,
dude, it gives it life. It gives it life.
So I got
X-Force. X-Force.
Yeah, this is a dope cover. And this is a great book. Like, I think that out of all the people doing and yeah, Cthulhu Invades my wallet.
It's true.
But it's worth it, man. And I think it's super cool because, like, in the back, they have like these pages for all of the creators who worked on it. So you can take that book around with you to where you bump into them, and you can have everyone sign their own specific thing in the back. And that's pretty cool, also, because it's almost like a checklist, like for all your trading cards, and then you got the checklist at the end. So that's cool. And then the bonus part is watching them argue and befuddledly try to find where their square is in the pages
and explain, be like, "Oh, my square's in front of your square."
Oh man, yeah, it's great. All of a sudden, like whose square is where is important, and I love that. That's great. I got Storm.
Oh, Storm.
This continues to kind of disappoint everyone, and that's unfortunate. It's about the 9,000th time that we've homaged this cover.
Yes.
And I don't know. I would have liked to have seen something greater for Storm. Although I'm glad that it's out there, and anything that spreads that gives us a chance at more solo stories in the future. But I had hoped for more.
Yeah,
this is a lot of fun.
I've heard that series is good.
This is a lot of fun. So I've been enjoying this cover selection. I wasn't where I wanted it to be because I'm like. Dude, I got like that 1 in 25 Tyler Kirkham, and then like the other one I got was like one badass one too. I don't even know what it is right now, but then I had to get like an A cover, and I'm like, man. So I don't even know.
I knew.
Was it this week? I did not FOC this. I impulsed this off the wall. I was like, oh man. And of course I don't have this book. Like
Yeah.
this is not in my collection. And I'm not normally a big facsimile guy, even though it's crazy that I've seen facsimiles be worth money.
Hey, Nicole.
But once they put the foil covers on it, you've instantly duped me into all of that garbage. And also, shout out to this book being super reasonably priced. And it gives me an idea because I believe this was one of those price index books. And that'll give me a good feeling of how the rest, because I ordered them all. So now I have a good idea of what I'm expecting, more or less. I would assume some might be.
Yeah, it should be. And honestly, I almost FOMO'd into that too, because I thought to myself, why not?
Why not?
Like about $10 for a first appearance of Venom? You know, I mean,
Yeah.
yes, it's not a first print, but you don't have to save up the hundreds to get the first print now. Or I mean, if you want to.
Super satisfied with the $10 I invested in it, man. I think it's cool. It's just shit, dude. Sorry. I think it's really cool, and I'm gonna enjoy all of my foil covers, and I'm gonna show them all up. I'm gonna save. Oh, these are my my 3 wins. I got covers galore now.
So David actually just came through, said, "Never will Marvel foils be more than $9.99 on the shelf ever."
That's what's up.
Boom, there you go. That's your barometer. Because and Dave, I've told them, when we do the FOC, like, you know, on Previews World just says PI, which I know is like, I think please inquire is what that one is. I don't know.
I just assumed it meant price index.
I've always assumed net pricing, which is very different. I've tried to explain it to the viewers, and I think most people kind of get it by now. But that's a good barometer right there, because dude, and for $10, or even if you want to do the regular non-foil copy, like, to get the first appearance of Venom, like that one is.
See this?
Other
get the
than
non-foil cover
comics and Detective Comics and a few others, that one is like as clear as day to me. To like, you got to pick it up, right? You got to pick it up.
Well, yeah, that's how I feel about the ROM Space Knight one. But anyway,
it
grabbed me. I fell prey to it, and I'm glad I did. What else we got? Darkwing Duck number 8. Of all the IDW or Dynamite things, anyways, like that I pursue, like Darkwing Duck and Gargoyles are the ones that they've got me until it ends, no matter where it goes, because these are so close to the original source material, especially Gargoyles, which I'm going to go on about again in a minute. So I'm enjoying that, and I always get the Andolfo covers, like that one. Like, my advice, because all those Dynamite covers have like 80,000 different variants. Just find like the one artist that you're feeling and just run with that.
Run with it. I'm excited that Qua is doing the Dark Ages variants, because, like, you get to.
You're sitting on my one of that. I haven't been able to show it off.
I have your number 2 over here.
As long as you have it, that's fine with me, man. I appreciate you picking it up for me when I missed
ASM.
out. Yep, Spider-Man in it to the end, no matter what on this one. So it's. I'm not gonna lie, I don't read it. I don't read it.
It's ASM. You just have to buy it because you still got it.
When I walked into the collective for the first time, like, it was really close to them relaunching with that number 1. And of course, after 15 years, I didn't know who Art Germ was, and I didn't know where Spider-Man was. And remember, it was that damn foil cover.
Yep.
And so I was like, okay. And I was like, and this is good, because this is what I wanted to do, was like recoup like my childhood and my nostalgia. I wanted to get my fix of that with my adult money. And so I started picking it up, and then I realized like everything, like I was picking up so many books and it was all getting behind. And I was like, well, I'm going to wait until I've got 6 issues, and then I'll read that first arc, and then it's going to be like that. And then I did. And then I read that first 6 issues, and then I haven't read another issue after that, even though I have them all. If it like crossed over with Dark Web, I regrettably read it. But other than that,
you probably had at that point. I mean, I know that Zeb Wells was trying to go a different route. It didn't grab me. I had a lot more questions than answers. I had 0 answers and a lot of questions after the first issue, and I felt like a lot of them didn't get answered until many story arcs later.
Yeah, that whole what happened to them didn't get into that until like 25 or something, like something crazy.
Yeah, and again, Spider-Man. Everybody's enjoying it in different ways, you know.
Sure.
So, and there's tons of different titles for you. If Amazing's not doing it for you, you have Spider-Man. You know, adjective list Spider-Man, as I call it.
Exactly, which is where it's at, anyways. I got, because they're roping me in to buy an Invincible Iron Man for a few months so that I can have Fall of X, because I don't know, they just can't keep this book relevant enough. I don't know how many times they've.
It's a nice cover.
Oh, dude,
Clean
it's
cover.
Kale.
Is it Kale? All right, I was gonna say
Yeah, like
that.
of course, like that made it easier to jump on board. You know what I mean? So I got this because it leads into the Invincible Iron Man issues that I need to complete the Fall of X run. And like this stealth Iron Man armor by Kale New is so nasty. I was like, I'll pick up one more issue. Why not?
Dave, Roy, yes, Roy's all about every Hellfire Gala cover, every contest of chaos. Like Roy's got it. Roy's gonna be doing
Oh, I'm only just now seeing him do his hysterical. I love that guy. Yeah, he and I are gonna get along great.
it.
Especially when we argue, because I'm sure that he loves so much stuff that I just don't, and I will flat out ask you, but why? Void Rivals, is that last week? Or is it this
No,
week?
that was this week. I
All
think
right.
I'm 99% sure.
So this one I ended up scooping up in an emergency because it was one of those ones that fell through the cracks at the other place. Should have got. I'm pretty sure that over there I had ordered that Autobot looking cover, but they still
Oh
have
yeah.
plenty of copies. I might pick that up. Just because I'm finishing off, I'll probably get like up to issue 5 of this and then probably be done. I think I just FOC'd 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
And the
because.
Disney villains have been cool. It's just I feel like just like anything, you gotta end some before you start some again. Like,
Yeah,
you don't want to have 3 things on the vine there.
yeah. I mean, it's good and I enjoy it. I just, on like even my pockets aren't limitless. Like I have to figure something out. Obviously, yes, to the Batman Beyond. This was amazing. This Max Dunbar character continues to impress me. I think that some of the giant size of Killer Croc got lost in
Yeah, yeah,
some of
yeah.
it, but it's also all in motion, so it's not as important, and the rest of it, balances out to the point. I'm enjoying it. The story was great, so really enjoying that. Picked up The Call.
Nice. That book's been moving. Like I just a lot of after release date life.
Yeah, yeah.
They
This
didn't have
is
to
did
have
not
to
come
do
out
it.
this week,
Yeah.
but I picked this up on I think it was Candace, but definitely Blackbird recommendation. And then I saw that we talked about last week was the FOC for number 2,
Yep.
and that's what got me wondering more about it. And then so picked it up, and we'll see. I'm enjoying it.
It was Dave's book of the week. That's what I thought because a lot of people were
Okay,
grabbing it yesterday and saying, "Yeah, Dave told me to grab it. Dave told me to grab it." I'm like, "Heck yeah! Like it looks awesome."
for sure. So what else I got here? Big game.
Oh, big game. We were
Big
just
game
talking
number
about that.
2. Yeah,
Wow.
I will try not to go off on yet another rant about this, but once again, this is the whole Mark Millar universe basically all boiled into one big giant plot.
Yep.
It's phenomenal. I'm enjoying it. Like they cut to like Hit Girl and like what she's doing like nowadays, because like I said, the superheroes are having a resurgence. And so Wesley, as head of like the world and the fraternity from the Wanted universe, or the segment, anyways, he wants to wipe them out before they get out of pocket again. And so like they're going through an assassination list, and they're like, "Well, all right, what's Hit Girl doing?" And it like flashes to her, and like they give you a little rundown of what she's been doing, and then she's getting ready to turn at an intersection, and someone's talking from the back seat and tells her to keep going, or else she's going to get assassinated. And it's Eggsy from
Oh,
Kingsman.
Kingsman.
Yeah, so he's ducked down in the back. So I'm having a
Dude, he's doing
gay
it all.
old time with this, dude.
It's
I'm
the
really enjoying
multiversal
it.
spaghetti, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And I know that Danny Ash was talking about like it making him interested enough to chase down the other
Yep.
properties.
And Mark's like not holding back because rumor is like certain a certain set of heroes or certain books worth of people are just going to be killed in big game, and that's like the end. You're not going to see another book of them because he did it all in big game, which is interesting.
I have an idea of I think that some of that already started in this
Yeah,
issue. So, but I
but he's
won't.
not holding back, dude. He's crazy, and I love it.
No, bro, I love this. I watched a YouTube video on Nemesis to get informed on him,
Yep,
and
yep.
I intentionally picked a negative critique on the entire run, and it was a guy that like doesn't like Mark Millar, doesn't like anything, and he's got well-informed opinions.
Yep.
And so I want to see that side of it because I can decide if I like it or not. I want to see the people who don't like it.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. And so I watched it, and his critiques, they definitely didn't talk me out of wanting to watch it or read it anyways. It's just, it seems like you might have to turn off some of your critical thinking in order to go with it. And like, for what I'm reading now, like I'm about it. There he is, Danny Ash. So I'm about it. I definitely want to pick that up. So here we are, Dead Romans, number 6.
No zombies.
No zombies.
I failed you.
You did not fail me. This is actually a pretty rad book. The art is phenomenal. The story is like, I'm really big into studying. Like, I hyperfixate, and like one day I'll wake up and I'll be like, I need to know everything there is to know about Rome. And then I will go like so deep that like from the time that happened to like the Norse mythology and the Norse culture, like all of my electronic devices all have like Norse names. Like all of my A-dogs, we don't say the forbidden word. Yeah. All of my A-dogs are all programmed they have like Norse names. And so it's a good dive into Roman culture and Roman warfare and everything. And so I'm enjoying that for what it is.
Nice.
One more Contest of Champions, Chaos. Sorry, once
Dude,
again.
Dave's been real high on Fantastic Four. Like, I didn't give it a shot after like the first or second issue because I was like, I don't know who Peter North is, but like, yeah, I've heard.
I know who Peter North is, but I think it's a different guy.
Oh, is who's writing it now?
I don't know. I got this because it's the Contest of Chaos.
Oh, that is true. Contest of Chaos is making the move rounds around Marvel at this point. I thought it was going to be a lot of just annuals for Contest of Chaos.
This is Zach Gorman.
Oh, that's the annual. That's why.
This is the annual.
So that does okay. That all keeps going into my mind.
Yeah. So I don't know. Obviously, Dave knows about who's writing the actual book now. I do not. Told you.
He Holmes.
Told you, dog. Like that's what I was like. Wait a minute. We just got into a really sticky situation.
Oh man, that's funny.
So Daredevil and Echo.
I've heard that's good. That's on issue 3.
This is reasonable. Right? It's what now?
Issue 3. They're at now.
No, 4. We're at 4.
4.
Yeah, we're at 4. So this is
Ryan North. I was close.
Ah.
I feel like if you're a famous writer, Peter tends to be your name, right? Like it's just like.
Sure, Bubba.
Peter David, like it's just,
I hear you. Peter David, that other Peter guy.
Peter Parker.
Peter Parker wrote, journalism. So there's that.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that was the cover FOC show. Like first week of the show, I'm like, that's the best Power Rangers cover.
I cannot believe that they wrote your boy into a Power Rangers comic book. Not that I have anything against this franchise.
It's a sick cover. It's a sick cover. Like I'm not sure what's happening in Darkest Hour right now, but that's a sick cover. Like,
dude, this looks amazing.
Have me interested.
And I mean, like, it's issue 111. They must be doing something right.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, something must be going okay. And then I'm down to my top 2 here, minus that Barons, actually. So as I was saying, Gargoyles.
There you go.
I do the Lucio Carrillo covers, this fine Italian individual, I'm assuming. All of the covers look kind of like this, and I'm going to be honest, by issue number 8, some of them even look kind of repetitive. You could, but like, this is my choice to get these covers. You know what I mean? You don't have to get that cover. You get a different cover every week. Who cares? Yeah. But and I don't regret it like at all. And I mean, if the next 4 covers were all just Goliath in different poses, I'd probably still get those because I love this.
Yeah, and he just does the dark, like, because it'd be nighttime and everything. He gets that.
Yeah, it's like
really well.
I don't want to say it's like Frazetta or Boris Vallejo, but I mean, it's in that same.
It's that Italian, it's very different. It's just like we've noticed. The Italians have a different style than
Marco Mastrozzo,
and everybody's just, they're doing their thing now.
Yeah. And then as far as what's going on in here, the interiors look just like the cartoon, like I've said a million times.
Yeah.
This is direct continuation of the cartoon, like I said a million
Greg
times.
Weitzman's writing, so It's of the heart of the cartoon. For
It
sure.
is. If you like the comic or the cartoon, there's zero reason for you to be perpetuating damn rumors about Kenneth Branagh going to make a movie. He's not. Go read this comic book so that I can continue to have this comic book, please. Because do I not? No, because you have my Dark Ages #2. Because the Alan Quah covers for that are astonishing. So buy Gargoyles so that I can keep having that, and I appreciate you for it. The next one, I got the 2 different versions. I'm gonna bet this is Horley. I don't know if I remember correctly or not, but I'm gonna bet this is Alex Horley.
Oh, that's clean though. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and just doing multiple characters in that shot is very nice.
Oh yeah. And then my last one, it's funny because you know me, I was worried at first about like the difference in how to go about getting my incentives and stuff like that, because there is no reservation and it's a much more fair deal that way. You know what I mean? But it had me worried. And of course, like over time, like I really didn't get left with much choice other than to see how that was going to work out. And because nothing else was. And so the first book that gave me that fear came out this week. And of course I went in there and it was just sitting on the shelf, just waiting for me. And so I got the 1 in 25 Bill Sienkiewicz.
Oh, the Sienkiewicz. Yes.
I was so terrified that I would not be able to get my hands on this book. Because man, if you could see, like,
he does Moon Knight like no other though, dude. I'll say that's one character that when Sienkiewicz is doing a cover, it's gonna be awesome.
Blows my mind. And so that's it. Other than also special shout out to Aaron for being able to back order books or reorder books anyways that I had missed, and those came in as well. And so super stoked about that. But I've gone on long enough as always.
Dude, speaking of Aaron, Dave's been in the comments this weekend, yesterday, less than 24 hours ago. I was still there. Blackbird had their 5-year anniversary event. We've talked about Blackbird on the show a decent amount. Blackbird Comic and Coffee House in Maitland, Florida. If you're not from Florida and you're watching, or if you're not from Central Florida, you have to stop by. Whether you're visiting in town, whatever you're doing, go there. They celebrate 5-year anniversary. The sidewalk sale was super dope, especially you early guys, like the people from the first 2 hours, I know had a blast in there, finding all that. By the end of it, there was like no X books anymore, Roy. It was like everything around it. But it was shout out to Aaron, because Aaron really curated that, and he had a great system going. Tons of great stuff.
Collapsed my X-Men 2099 collection. I'm down to like because that's one of the ones that I had lost almost all of, and I had like issue #1 and issue #4, and now I'm missing like 6 issues, I think, from the entire run. I didn't think to look for them in the store because I had other things I wanted to get. So
right, and it was fun, dude. The cafe was bumping. Shout out to all the baristas because they were
bumping. Well, the place was slammed.
Yeah, from the moment you unlock the door, like, so that was crazy. And shout out to just everybody who came out. It was great to see old friends. We saw Carrie and the fam, dude. The little one still little oneing it up, dude. Like, that's awesome.
That's who I recognized first, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw them out of the corner of my eye because they came from where the other parking is, and I saw them. I'm like, oh, Carrie. And I saw Roberto. Shout out to Roberto. Roberto came out there. Both Robertos, Roberto Benini, Bro Sanchez. Shout out to those guys. It was great seeing Robert and Jin later in the day. Dude, they had jokes, bro. It's been like a long time. We had to rescue that baby with a balloon.
Did you?
She had her balloon. She was walking, man. She was upset. I saw them waiting in line because when Courtney was in the back by the records, she was just doing balloons on the move, which I thought was curious because no crazy line ever forms. And I'm like, oh, did she get a balloon yet? And I'm like, oh, you guys are next. I got it. But it was awesome, dude. Robert and Jin came in here with jokes, bro. Like I had missed them. Like, they bring that young blood in, bro. Like,
they're on fire, dude. It's hard to believe. Yeah, it's hard to believe they're like adults, like jobs and everything. Like, I remember the first time I was like blown away. I was like, nah.
Like, you got a job.
Mad respect, dude. I don't have that much energy anymore.
It was so cool seeing them. They were talking about X. dude, it was so funny. Actually, we could talk about it for like a second because this is an informational show. So Robert, having probably a month's worth of questions for me, first thing he see or after he's looking through books, he goes, "Danny, let me ask you, what's an annual?" And I was like, "Well, that's an interesting and long conversation." Like, but I'm
Sometimes
like,
there are 5 Wednesdays.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, that's where you start, right? Sometimes there were 5 Wednesdays, and if you print your book twice that month, you're gonna ruin your schedule for the rest of the time. But like, it's so different nowadays because like all those annuals for Marvel books are Contest to Chaos.
Yeah.
So sometimes they're like stories to other things. Sometimes they're tie-ins. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's a one shot. Sometimes it's a throwaway issue.
Trying to number them and put them in like a CLZ app can be like really problematic. Like a lot of times you just have to go with like what the story was called and then hunt it down like that.
Bro,
It's
Amazing Spider-Man's probably got more annuals than
there you
freaking
go.
Captain Marvel has legacy issues. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
definitely more than like Moon Girl has legacy issues. It's a little crazy, you know.
Right.
Batman also probably sitting on a zillion annuals. But dude, it
Yeah.
was awesome. It was funny because the start of the day, and you saw it. I'm setting up the sidewalk sale with Aaron, and like, I'm like, all right, I know what we're doing here. Like, I'm assuming we need to write down a piece of paper. We need to like how many books you got, boom, and it's like continue on your way. And I joked with you, I'm like, I'm doing the Roy position today, baby.
Yeah.
Like, but it was fun.
Yeah.
And actually, it was a nice day out with the awning that Blackbird has. It wasn't too hot at all. So it was an awesome day, man.
Yeah.
Obviously that's my perspective as like employee and kind of seeing it from the bones. But how was it for you guys?
Oh man, dude, I loved it. It's crazy. Like, so I got there pretty early and was still not the first person there. And so get to sit down and just, watch. Like, me, like I try to be helpful. Like that's my thing. Like sometimes I'm too much help. But like there's no reason for me to sit here while everyone else is doing something. Like I can do something too. And so it's funny because you're like, I got like now I'm doing the Roy position, and then I got demoted to just regular customer. You know what I mean? Like it's funny, just like it's cool in a way to be able to start back at the bottom and work back up through. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's exciting because like in some circles, everyone already knows everything, and then you get to new circle and you get to like build that like all over again. And so I really enjoy that. I really enjoy like how overwhelmingly welcome that I feel when I'm in there. My kid enjoys it, and that, and at this point in the game, anything that keeps the kids happy is that we'll do that forever. And of course, anytime that I can share the things that I love with my family, like, I mean, that's my job. Like I'm full-time dad. So it means, like I said, it means the world to me. That's the best way to do it. It's a quick, yeah.
So, and you mentioned the kid. Like we've taken the 12-year-old a couple times now. The first time maybe second time she'd been there. I'll never forget it. I shared it with the baristas. She was eating her sandwich and she goes, "I love Blackbird. Uh, I can't wait to grow up so I can come here on my own." And I'm like, that's big. Kids walk into a lot of places in the world and like
Sure.
they might not have that reaction. And then
Yeah.
Saturday she came up to, or she said it to Lauren first, and Lauren's like, "Tell Danny." And she goes, if school ever makes me do like a project on a business or a place, like I want to do it on Blackbird. So it's like that's just one kid, and that's a kid who's only been there 2 or 3 times, but like that's big. That does not happen
Yeah.
everywhere. Toys R Us is out of business because kids stopped wanting to go to, kids stopped feeling that way when they went into Toys R Us.
Right.
So that's huge. And as
Absolutely.
I don't have my family like that yet. Me and Lauren are starting that, but like I can imagine, and even with my nephew, once he comes back up to visit, like to share that with them is special, and
Yes.
you don't get to do it all the time, and you don't get to do it in every hobby.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
But
And so, go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, that just speaks to what Dave and Candace have been able to do there, and I just wanted to give a shout out. I know their daughter gave a little speech in the store, but shout out to them because A, it doesn't happen without them, period. And then B, well, there's probably a lot of letters here. B is it's not easy. Like I don't think a lot of people realize when the the local comic book store is probably one of the last true small businesses in most capacities. And yes, there are unknown comics of the worlds, and there's Coliseum still, and those might feel like closer to the Starbucks of it all. But for the most part, no matter what part of the country you're in, a local comic shop is that. It is something that somebody or couple or whatever has put their life savings into, has put, their blood, sweat,
Yeah.
tears. So many comic stores are built from the ground up, with people building pieces like to make it
Yeah.
work.
It
Um, and
factors
that's
right in with supporting the artist, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And watching their vision come true. Like it's the same thing
yep.
with your LCS, you know?
And that I know that's scary and intimidating. Hence, why not everybody who's just sitting on life savings goes and does it. Right?
Sure.
It's sometimes it's easier for people to take the safest route, path of least resistance, whatever. You can go be a teacher for 45, 35 years and retire. And did you love what you did for those 35, 45 years? Maybe, but it's safe. It's safe.
Yeah.
And so shout out to them because they took the leap, they did it, and then they did it well. And it's very clear from having just been there for, heck, I've been walking through the door consistently now for less than 2 months and been working there for less than 2 weeks. But it's very clear. And even if you're even doubting it, go onto their Facebook and just look at the comments on different posts and
Right.
see different members of the community and how proud they are to be a part of that. And whether that
Yeah.
part of that means that you're just going in once a week to buy things, which
Right.
we do at everywhere, right? But
Yeah.
you don't feel at Target or at
I'm
Publix.
about to say I see the same chick at Publix every time, and I
Yeah.
am not excited to see her. You know, I
So,
hope she's doing well. Shout out to Jody.
but it's a special thing. It's not something that everybody can do or that everybody wants to do. And just like it shows. And I'm really excited to see, if in 5 years, multiple Eisner nominations, multiple Eisner finalists. I can only imagine, forget about, I think by the 6 year anniversary party in 1 year, it's going to be crazy. But can you imagine at the 10 year anniversary party?
Oh,
Like
bro.
it's gonna be wild. So like, yeah, like the people that make things happen sometimes are the least appreciated. So that's why I just one last time while I say like Candace and David, they have to work over the 40. Like you're
Oh,
the
without
one
a doubt.
on a computer at home on your free time. Like
Yeah.
delaying family events. Like that's not easy. So shout out to them. And they've built a very special place there.
Just doing that much peopling in 2023 has got to be exhausting. You know
That's
what I mean? Like, how many people can you love in a day? Like, I got a list. It's fairly long, you know what I mean? But I got a list. There's only so many slots on it today, but they don't seem to have that problem, and it really shows. And like I said, just like any, I could buy my books off Amazon, you know what I mean, or anywhere, and the point is, I want more, you know, and I want to feel like I belong somewhere, and I want to engage other people and see their views and what's going on in their lives, you know, and that's what I want, and that is 2 scoops of what I got, man. And like, I just can't go on and on enough about it. Like they'll learn like over time, because like that's why I stand in your shadow so much all the time. I always want to be where you're at, because you're always doing like big things and bringing like big energy and like a crazy amount of skills. Like your networking skills are bar none, because you're just genuinely a good person. You know, you can't say these things about you, but I can. So like it draws people in, and that allows you to just keep building this head of steam, and maybe you're starting to build that head of steam all over again, but build it you will. And you know what I'm saying, I'll be right there next to you to do that. And it seems to me now we've got a perfect place to do that as
Yeah,
well.
I'm excited. It's all special things ahead. Whether and again, it's funny because like there is that moment of winning the Eisner is gonna feel like the peak, but like I said, that could be year
You want
six.
that so bad.
That could be year six, bro. And like there's still there's still forever to
Yeah.
plan of. So it's like that's another thing is to not ever be happy with enough. Like it's like I don't know. It's like when you're with the
My
right
toxic
people.
trait is plateauing.
Yeah. But they're like you can't plateau, right? Like you can't
Yeah.
like so that's the coolest part when you know you're with the right people, like you know the right things are gonna happen. So like I ain't even worry about it.
That's what's up, man.
So FOC is DC FOC is tonight, like really right now. I'm sure Dave is either just finished it
He usually
or
gets off
like
of our show to go do it. So
yeah, so he either just finished it since we started later, or he's doing it right now while he listens to us jibber jab. But it's a pretty like I mean I know what my highlight of FOC is, to be fair, but it's a pretty like simple FOC. Image is split between two. If you go to previewsworld.com/final orders due, you will always see this. It will give you the final order cutoffs for the week. Maybe we can win Orlando after we win the world. That's a funny inside joke that like is very true. If you guys know about Best of Orlando, but so yeah, final orders due is it's through Previews World. If your store does pull box, you can literally order straight from here. If not, it's a good resource. So Image got some Spawn, you got a new Saga. Boom has the full trade paperback to Creed. So if you slept on that, you can do the full trade paperback. Sirens of the City 3 is on here. Both covers are all three covers are fire.
I got the Manhanini, bro. You gotta be kidding me.
Yep, all three covers are fire. Something's killing children. Stuff of Nightmares has a new series, Red Murder #1. This is written by R.L. Stine, who is famous for Goosebumps, among other things. I'm sure he's done other things.
You
But
want
like,
to talk about being a sucker? I ordered that spot foil for Something Is Killing the Children without even being able to see it and having been hella let down by the last one.
I'm pretty sure there's at least one cover I ordered somewhere down the line that also had no image. And I was like, I'm sold. I'm in.
Yeah,
Don't worry about
if
it.
you want to know the kind of guy Roy is, I open ordered that cover, not being able to see it and having been previously let down by the same comic doing a spot UV foil.
Oh, man.
Still got it.
So jumping down to DC, Action Comics is hitting you with a Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong cover because they're gonna do those. Aquaman Andromeda was a cool little mini series. If you like Ram V, you want dark Aquaman stuff that is solid. FOCing issue 3 of Batman Beyond Neo Year. Jump on that if you're sleeping on it. Batman Reptilian was Liam Sharp and Garfinis, and the story's cool. The art is very artsy. If you like that kind of stuff, like the splash, kind of like Martin Simmons art, you'll like that.
Okay.
Batman Superman World's Finest 19. Typically, I just skip over a book at 19, but we have a Nick Cage. It's a Dan Mora cover featuring Nick Cage Superman.
Oh wow.
So let me just say they have my $4.99. I FOC'd that cover. I'm not jumping. I'm not reading the book. I've heard it's great, but I'm grabbing that cover.
That's fair.
Let's see what else. Catwoman with the Nakayama, Sway, great covers.
Almost
Got you.
Almost. But I ordered more DC books than ever this week. So
it was a good week for DC coming out of Night Terrors is over. So like we're starting to hit everything. The Halloween book is DC's Ghouls Just Want to Have Fun, $9.99 one shot. You know what?
I thought about it.
Oh man. You know what? I love Alvaro. That cover is done by Alvaro Martinez Bueno. You guys might know him from Nice House on the Lake. I know him from Scott's Collectibles. So I like Alvaro, and that this needs to stop spinning. I want it. I just want my book.
Awful late to be pulling a DC book.
I know. Hopefully Dave ordered enough.
He's got to be rolling his eyes because there has not been one week that we've done the show that I have not gone on and ordered.
Like, oh, I want that.
Yeah, every single week when we do this.
So yeah, that's a cool one shot. I call them the seasonal DC one shots because they do those like every season. They got them for Christmas, like everything like that. So that'll be your Halloween one. Not necessarily horror stories, but probably like horror characters. Really cool.
Right.
Detective Comics with Ram V ramping back up. I want to say it might have been this Detective Comics Hispanic Heritage cover that I
Oh.
just ordered it with. I just ordered it. I'm like,
If
that's
I had seen, I didn't see that. I just saw
is it
image coming
Villalobos? It
soon
is
and passed over
Villalobos.
it. I didn't even see that it was Villalobos, so I'd have been able to figure if I'd have seen the rest of it.
Yep, yep,
I think
yep.
it's Villalobos that
I think
did them all,
Villalobos
didn't
is
he?
doing all of the Hispanic Heritage Month
I
covers
think all the ones we've seen so
now.
far have been him.
Yeah, now that I'm putting like two and two together, like I think that's his thing. So that is cool. Flash number one. Come on, I can't not. You know what I'm
I
saying?
got the
Flash.
foil.
Simon Spurrier. Oh, I got like 3 covers.
I know
Lauren's
you
gonna
did.
tell me.
I know.
I subscribed and I'm doing the A cover because I have to do the trade dress, right? It's like number one. Like I got to do it.
Okay.
And then Lauren couldn't believe I was skipping Dan Mora, but when you got to do, you got to do.
Because you got Besh.
Because I got Besh. Of course I got Besh. I also got the blank that has no image because, right, I gotta. Somebody's going to draw me a flash. And I'm
Yeah,
gonna feel
someone's
ecstatic.
yeah.
I did do the Roz foil.
I
It's
got
going to be awesome.
I didn't even see it yet.
Oh, it looks cool. It looks like he's running on the globe, but the foil is going to make it pop even more.
Oh
Is what
yeah,
I'm
dude.
saying. Like,
I love Raza.
and then I did go ahead and order the Flash 105 facsimile, which is first appearance of Mirror Master. I will never spend the multiple hundreds of dollars to get a low grade first appearance of Mirror Master. Not just not a big enough character for me. But I will absolutely buy that facsimile so I can say that I have the
You
first
have
appearance
it.
of Mirror Master.
I get it.
uh, Kendrick Lim knocking out that Green Arrow cover real quick. All right.
That's the John Arrow cover. That's the John Stewart cover I got.
So
Go ahead.
was so hard to not get 4 covers of a character
For
that I
real.
super love. So this is the new John Stewart miniseries. Actually makes me think of Carrie. Carrie's definitely gonna want at least one of these. He's a big John Stewart guy. But A cover by Taj Tenfold. This is a Green Lantern War Journal, which is super cool. The John Jang is sick.
I know.
Dave Wilkins is
I got
solid.
that
Never
one.
heard of Dave Wilkins. It's solid.
Me neither. That's the one I chose.
Villalobos Hispanic Heritage Month cover. That's the one I got. But man, I'll tell you what, and I typically don't love things like this. It was hard for me to not get the dog tag issue. Or
Yeah.
the dog tag cover. Because they did it really well, how they kind of make the credits go into the dog tag. And
Yeah.
no, I really like that. And then I know Lauren was in love with this Jenny Frieson Harley Quinn cover.
Yeah.
Like, it definitely. This sucked because I've been collecting the Derek Chews for Hawk Girl.
Yeah.
But obviously, I'm doing the Villalobos
Oh.
Hispanic Heritage. So, like, my stance on it too is, especially because I'm reading a lot of these books, I gotta support the Hispanic Heritage Month covers because if I don't and nobody does, they just won't make them next year. And I'm
That's
very
correct.
appreciative of DC for doing an initiative like this. It means a lot to me, so I will support every chance I get with this.
Absolutely. I do too. All Black History Month, the AAPI,
Yep.
Pride, all of it. Every time without fail. Because that's what you're supposed to do.
The Joker manga looks cool. They're up to volume 2 on
Don't
that.
breeze by Icon versus Hardware like that. Man.
Icon hardware. It comes out in hardcover, so if you were behind, pick up that hardcover. Milestone. Commandy the Lost Boy. I know that's your favorite stuff there, Roy.
I mean, it's close.
Let's see what else
I'm waiting for that Commandy Wonder Man crossover.
Power Girl #1, written by Leah Williams. There's Gary Frank cover. John Boy Myers. Sosa Micah cover. There's a blank. And then there's a Warren Lau foil, which I guarantee you is going to be fire. So
I love Micah.
Get your order in now before you have to fight on release date. Riddler Year 1 is coming out in a hardcover. This direct market exclusive variant. That means you won't see that variant on like Amazon, Barnes and Noble. Those will be more to or comic shops specifically, which is cool.
Very.
Sandman Universe Nightmare Country Glass House is here on the end. Superman's back. I believe there's a jumping on point, but that Rose Besh. Actually, this Tiago da Silva is sick. Yeah. I will say, like, that art is badass.
I think out of all the Besh, that Superman is probably my least favorite, to be honest.
Yeah, it doesn't do it for the face doesn't do it for me. What else is there? I
Whatever
did
that is.
order, and this is another book with no cover that I ordered. The Superman #6 Heroes Initiative blank sketch cover. So it's a blank sketch cover, probably like this, but it says Heroes Initiative, which makes me believe that a portion of the sales will get donated to the Heroes Initiative, and I am
I would
all about
assume.
that.
Right.
So I'm all about the donations, especially Heroes Initiative. If you don't know what Heroes Initiative is, George Perez, Marv Wolfman,
Right.
some of those guys went ahead and pioneered getting rights for creating characters, but not everybody signed deals like that. So Heroes Initiative collects money and then helps creators who need help, who did not get royalty deals and things like that, and now don't have very much money, but are sitting, at retirement age. They can't keep drawing. So
Bro, you are so much nicer than I am, man. They strung these dudes out, like they use them, abuse them, and then now that they're in their twilight years, broke because of what happened to them, no one's stepping in to do something for them, and so the Hero Initiative does.
yep, and
And
that
so that is, I would assume that you're absolutely correct on whatever that is, and now I gotta order.
and I only know so much about it because George Perez used to almost never charge for signings, but
Yeah,
he had a cup at his table that was donations to Heroes Initiative, and obviously he would be very appreciative. He'd sign your book regardless, but he'd be very appreciative if you put anything in that cup, and I'll never forget that. R.I.P. to George Perez, but I'll never forget that because he was awesome about that.
that is super cool.
We got Tales of the Teen Titans. Got the Donna Troy issue here. Wally, my boy Wally on the Jen Bartel Titans. So that's sick. I went ahead. This is where you'll laugh, Roy. So the release dates on these are all different, but the FOC appears to be the same because they gotta make it happen, Captain.
Yeah.
So I did go ahead and order all 5 issues of Titans World,
Holy
Titans Beast World #1 lenticular cover. I just went ahead and got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know what they look
wow.
like, but I'm in on the lenticular covers because why not? Why not?
Why not? You
Wonder
get
Woman
there
number
with your
one.
adult money,
Yeah,
gorgeous. You
Wonder
get
Woman
there.
#1. Did you do Art Germ? Or you skipping Wonder Woman?
I skipped it.
I
I
did.
because I skipped. There was no way that I was gonna get the art germ because I had to skip Sozo Micah.
So I love Tom King. I'm not sold on this, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the Art Germ on A. I do like the Besh.
Yeah,
The Bocello foil will probably look cool, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Art Germ because why wouldn't I go
I
with
think
it?
all these Besh covers would make rad new school tattoos.
Oh, for sure, for sure. They'd be dope posters too.
Or yeah, but like, have you seen the tattoos where they make it look like a patch
Yeah, 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 yeah,
or like
yeah.
a sticker that's like peeling off of you? Like one of those would be super dope.
So if you're doing Contest of Chaos, Avengers Annuals, a piece of that.
I went on
Uh,
Brian Hitch for that.
Dark X-Men is going to a second print. Death of the Venomverse is wrapping up. Immortal Thor 2, George Perez right there. Speaking of the GOAT.
Speaking of,
Um, let's see what else.
yay, Invincible Iron Man #10.
Jean Grey 2. I can't believe that book's gone to 10. Especially that they've made that many wraparound covers that we got a 10th one. Momoko is doing a Jean Grey cover.
That's the one I got.
Magneto's going to a second print. Art boxes. You probably can't order them directly through Pullbox, but if you let your local comic shop know that it's something you want, they will A, probably be able to order it for you, and B, hold one for you. You've got Spider-Gwen here, and you've got Spider-Man Gang War, which I think is an upcoming event. So you got
Probably.
those.
They usually stay on top of releasing boxes for what they're doing,
Yep. And
which is genius.
this Gwen looks like it might be Nakayama art. So Roberto, jump on that.
Uh-oh.
Miracle Man. Look at that. Issue 6. Look at
That's
that.
the cover I got, Coelho. Still haven't read a single one.
Miss Marvel New Mutant issue 2. Can't
I'm gonna
wait.
talk
Definitely
about it.
seeing issue 2 before issue 1 comes out. One of my favorite things to do. Realm of X 2 issue 1 did come out.
Yeah.
Spider-Man India 4 of 4 just ending there. No more Duali covers, which is a little sad. Mandalorian Storm 5 of 5, so that's gonna be over. Uncanny Avengers is going to a second print. Days of Future Past, Doomsday. Did you
I
do
got
the
that man
Manahini?
Hanini. Yes,
There you
sir.
go. So those are the Marvel books. Independent has some Hades. There's Dark Ages Qual. You could just book that in. You know, you got
I don't know what I've seen it. He's released whatever it is on
I was
his
gonna say
Facebook,
he's
but
probably done it. My
I
favorite
don't care
series,
what it is.
Antarctica, is on FOC. Big Game 3 is on FOC. Also, this is the
Yeah.
FOC that if you're looking for Christmas books, like maybe for kids or something like that, this is the perfect FOC for that. You're going to see this comics and graphic novels area. There's Archie Christmas Wonderland. That's just the beginning of it. I was scrolling through this looking for something for my nephew. And I also saw, where was it? Where was it? There's a few little Christmassy things. They all looked great. Shout out to Naki Miranda, Godzilla, Here There Be
Can
Dragons.
you scroll
Apparently,
back up real quick?
yep.
Right there. Okay, I missed it. I don't know if I might have missed that Ronin.
Ronin issue 4. They've been a little behind on that.
Man, I've been collecting that for the whole time I've known you.
Yeah. And you only got 4 issues.
I only got for free.
Click Click Boom by Doug Wagner. Let me see where. The Hero I'm Meant to Be. That's a good kids book if you like got a young girl or she likes the Marvels.
Might as well cheat on you, looked all ages.
Yeah. I love how it's nice and mixed in with all the manga that maybe not be all ages. This Quested Zelda homage cover is pretty cool. It's a one-shot. Quested the Four Henches. Rat Queens. Look at that. Doing a one-shot of Rat Queens. If you didn't know about Rat Queens back in the day, it had some issues with the creative team, but Rat Queens was a cool kind of like D&D adventuring party before anybody had an agenda, and I think it's really cool. But that looks to be a one-shot right there for Rat Queens. Rocketeers on its 3rd issue. Steve Orlando doing Steve Orlando. I thought this was cool. The Star Trek Halloween. Get it? They're going to be on the holodeck.
Yes, I did.
I don't know much about that stuff, but like,
I don't know about the comics. I know a lot about Star Trek in general.
I felt like Captain America. It's like, that's a reference I get. Right?
Yeah.
Traveling to Mars. Walking Dead is still happening. Oh, here was where the Christmas stuff was. There's a little golden book of Mickey Mouse if you're doing books for the kiddos. There's a World's Learning How to Read level 2 reader for Loki.
Oh, cool.
Maybe I was imagining the Christmas stuff. I don't know. There's Chia Pets if you like Chia Pets. But yeah, Roy, was there anything that you like? Obviously, Flash was my thing, but what caught your eye this FOC?
Well, I got good covers from Mananini, so I'm always stoked about that. I don't know. I don't know what I ordered already.
I don't know why I ordered it though.
Yeah, it's already too late.
It's in
Big Game 3. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah,
and it ends, so something's got to happen, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's moving right along. There's people dying left and right. So like, but so I'm excited about that. I'm less excited about a lot of things, unfortunately. I'm really excited about the Jon Stewart.
Oh yeah, I think that's true, and I'm excited to see that. They did that one shot for War Journal like 8 months ago, maybe even more. So I'm excited that they're gonna still do that. I only remember because Carrie had been talking about how there ain't been a Jon Stewart book in forever.
Forever.
Carrie, I got you it. The bad news is it's the only one.
Well,
all right, man.
It's like that.
Well, again, this is the Quarter Variant at a Time podcast. This is episode 6. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching on replay, give us a like, give us a subscribe. We'll be back next Sunday. Or actually, we will not be back Sunday. We'll probably do a Monday show since we're going to be at maybe we'll do, we're going to be too busy. But yeah, we'll get some video and share some stuff out. But we're going to be at Fanboy Expo on Sunday. Roy's going to be there throughout the weekend. So it should be dope. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. And we'll see you next week.
Have a good day. Imperious Rex.